Hey there, friends. Today, a couple people are asking about Ali. Pepe Fernandez says, do you have advice on how to beat Ali versus Ali with similar power, considering the barrack limitations of mortals like me? I think I can work with that. And Christian Picula asked, could you do the same with Ali? If I have time, no pressure on you. Actually, yes, guys. I'm going to combine both of these to make an Ali video. So let's get to it. You guys are in luck. There's a lot of really strong Ali forms out there right now, and I got some screenshots. I'm going to share these with you, and we'll get to talking about Ali. Okay, we're going to go to Ali minus 17, and this is what she brings to the table. Of all the heroes she has, she's the toughest. So Ali mobilizes all power of fire to form a powerful firebomb. After accumulating power for 3 seconds, she throws the firebomb into the air, and then the fireball lands at top speed and hits the opponent, causing huge damage and stun them. At the same time, will leave a burning flame on the ground and continue to damage the opponent's troops within the range for a certain period of time. If Ali is affected by a stun effect during the fire accumulation process, the fireball will fall to the ground. Okay, she nukes for 18,000, lasting damage of 500 for a 10 count, so that's another 5,000 damage, and she does that every 14 seconds. What they didn't mention is that when she's casting her thing, it causes all the troops pretty much to freeze for like a second, and then the fireball comes down, it stuns it, and then any troops that are attacking her forget that she's there after she does that. Okay, next, Ali's normal attack and some skills can ignite the enemy. So then you got the fire burning everyone. And the ignited enemy will take continuous damage in 8 seconds and greatly reduces attack and defense. So not only are they stunned and then they're burning, then they got attack and defense reduction on top of that. Okay, and the legendary skill, every time Ali cumulative loss 10% of her life, she will stimulate the power of her tail to increase all her damage at the stack of most 9. Same time, I'm not even sure what this means, but when she loses her health and those guys that are burning, pretty much they all just die. So, yeah, it does a lot of damage, and yeah, so Ali's got a ton of stuff there. So we're gonna check out some screenshots of some high-level Ali players. First off, here is DJ O is cool. He's currently in like 11th place, I think, in the arena. So really strong form here. Ali, probably the best troops for Ali. Well, you're looking at them, guys. Voodoo dolls are really good for Ali. They tend to stop Celine's attack with the Rhino Knights. So one of the best things to hold up the Rhino Knights from penetrating into your army and then all your army following them and then all the Peltas just killing them. Celine's probably one of the better heroes to take down Ali with. So if you can stop the Rhino Knights from going in, you do good. So those the Voodoo dolls really slow them down. That, and you got the pirate ships up there to throw their ships on them and stun them, and then you have the Peltas on the outside. So no matter where you put your Rhino Knights, whether in the second or third or fourth rows, the front, the columns, you want the corners or the inside, this one's going to slow you down. It's got some nuns in there to do some heals. You got your pretty much surrounded by stone golems are going to take all the damage, and then your Peltas on the outside. So pretty much with Ali, you want to just she's going to kill everybody. So you want tanks that can just take damage, soak up the damage, or stun or distract the enemy's troops while Ali just nukes everybody into the ground is pretty much the strategy there. So in order to beat Ali, let's see if we can find another form here. Here is another one, Mr. Red Dragon, a lot of pirate ships, stone golems, Voodoo dolls, and that's another really strong form there. Alley is really tough to beat right now, guys, with a lot of voodoo dolls and stuff like that. So here's another form. We're seeing a lot with the 3 stone golems up front. It's tough to take them out real fast. And here's another alley, 3 stone golems up front, meteor golems. This guy's got some goblikazes in there, so nuns and stuff. So you can kind of see the pattern here of how to build a decent alley form. So with that being said, let's get on over to the practice side of this video here. All right, my friends, here is my alley form, and let's get to work in here. So that's what I'm working with. I don't have as many stone golems as other guys, or as many pirate ships, or as many voodoo dolls. So that's the best I could come up with. Kind of got some heavy tanks in there that can take some damage and deal some damage out. Got some goblikazes in there to hopefully slow down the attack and take out the rear attackers. And if you're coming up against someone that has a ton of orc hunters, then they can take out those guys as well. Here we go. So I'm going to try to build a form here that can let's see, that can take out an alley. So kind of gone over like what you want as far as alley, what kind of troops you want. Alley, you want some heavy tanks up front. You want some, if you don't have voodoo dolls, undead soldiers work great too. Put them up by the front, because your main enemy usually with alley is going to be Celine. And the best way to stop her is you got to stop her Rhino Knights from charging in and taking out your guys. We are going to make this an alley, and we're building an alley for alley. And the best way, guys, to figure out like a really good form is just practicing. Alleys, you got to play to alley's strength. I like frost archers for slowing people down. So there's a couple options we can go with here. Okay. I'm going to build another form, but I want to just show you guys something real quick here. This is my Celine form, but if you throw an alley in here, the way to beat alley is to get her to nuke where you want her to nuke, if that makes sense. So you don't want alley to take out your main damage dealers. You want alley to miss your main damage dealers. So with that being said, I have an alley form right here. Now here we go. I want alley to nuke my rear attackers so that I have a bunch of magic apprentices and a bunch of ghost assassins, and alley should drop her bomb on my rear attackers. Let's see if she does or not. Okay, she missed my rear attackers, but she hit the rear of my offense. So not horrible. And then I got stunned. My alley got stunned. So even though I took out most of her guys there, let's give this one a shot again, guys, because I can beat this one with this. Here we go. We're going to try this one again. So my nuke really took out a lot of their guys. Pretty much hit their entire army. So I'm up by quite a bit there. My Peltasts are still alive. I got some other guys. So I'm pretty much going to win this one. Unless I can't hit his alley or something. I got not a good shot there on his alley. My alley's still alive though. So it comes down to pretty much, if your alley lives, you're going to win. It comes down to which alley is alive at the end. So you can see that I was able to get him to nuke kind of where I wanted to. He missed my Peltast. My Peltasts are going to do a lot of damage. So with this one also sometimes Allie will hit these magic apprentices will all go to the back right here, and Allie will nuke those guys. And if that happens, it's pretty much an auto win here. So I don't have a bunch of heavy hitter tanks and stuff. I could beef this one up a little bit. You know what? Let's do that. We'll just put a couple. We'll put a couple Goblikazis in here and a couple of those guys, and this might get her to nuke the rear of my form here. Let's see how that goes down. Here we go. Now that I got my magic apprentices going, see where Allie nukes. Okay, so where did she nuke? She nuked my Peltas? Yeah, I guess she nuked my Peltas. And then my Allie does a bad... whose nuke is whose here? So it looks like I'm a little confused there. Okay, so his nuke is the red one there. I'm sorry about this, guys. I was like, who nuked what? Okay, so she hit my Peltas there. That's kind of weird. It makes sense though. Now my Allie is behind the cannons, and the whole thing is to get Allie to nuke where you want her to. So she was nuking the rear portion before because I had more guys back here. So it's generally Allie will nuke where your greatest concentration of troops in. So those nuns back there were making her nuke back here. When I pulled the nuns out and put in single load troops, like the stone golems, that made my Peltas more of a group, and so she went after them. Okay, if that makes sense. I can pull out these guys and put in a couple more magic apprentices, and she should nuke those guys in the back there. Let's see if that holds true here. And yes, she does. Okay, so all my Peltas stayed alive. All my rear attackers are in there. We should have this one. Of course, I don't get off my nuke, and a random meteor golem takes me out, and that's the end of that. So anyways, enough messing with that form, but you can see that that can work in your advantage, but the idea is just keep practicing and try to build a form to where Allie will get Allie to nuke where you want her to. Okay, I'm going back with this form, and that's what we're going to work on right now. This is going to be more of a traditional Allie form than what you just saw. That one's kind of a crazy one that you won't really see anyone else having. As for Allie, I don't think. Okay, so I do want Allie to nuke the rear of my Allie form. Where's my other nun? There it is. And you obviously, when you have your stone golems, you put rear attackers next to them. You don't want to just throw a random other troop up here. These ones have to be rear attackers, okay? Or else your rear attack is dead. I like putting demons in there because they tank for days, and so that's what you want with Allie, is kind of stuff that's going to tank a lot of stuff. What we're going to do is I'm going to load up a little bit on rear attackers here, and to draw in the Allie fire. I like cannons with Allie. All right, we'll put them that way. I'll get some Peltas in here. And let's go with some some tanks here. So I want the majority of my guys to be kind of towards the back. And hopefully Allie will nuke the rear there. That's kind of what I'm going for here. So that being said, I'll throw in like a couple there. All right, let's see how this one serves us, guys. Here we go. If I did it right, Allie should nuke the rear of my form. And that's tough. She nuked pretty much my entire army, as did I nuke her entire army. Now it's just going to come down to who gets lucky with the nukes and who gets stunned by a stupid random boulder roll. So that's not acceptable. I don't want Allie to hit right them in the middle of my troops like that. That's not acceptable. So what you want to do is, okay, you want these guys to run forward more. What you can do is throw in an orc hunter there and put in some troops that are going to run forward, and then establish a better rear attack to create separation here between these guys and those guys. And also what we can do is we can move these guys to the back and put the nuns, because nuns don't really walk forward. Frost archers tend to move forward. Let's see if that attracts that rear nuke a little bit better for us here. Okay, nuke's coming down. Man, she still hit pretty much midway, but our Peltas had moved forward. We got cannons protecting Allie. All his guys pretty much died. And here comes the nuke, and it's over. So why I like the cannons is, you'll see, look at where Allie is. She's protected. They form a nice little pocket there, generally, and she'll just go in there, and this keeps her from running in there and attacking a meteor golem or something, right? Yeah, that's definitely what you don't want, is Allie to run in there and pick a fight with a meteor golem. So let's run that one again. And let's move that guy up here like that. We'll just create a nice little wall. Maybe those guys up a little bit, and let's try it again. Here we go. All right, so you see my guys were able to scoot forward far enough to where my Peltas all survived. All my front attackers were missed by that nuke. And there's Allie. She's behind the cannons again. And we got another win here, guys. So I just threw this form together real quick, and you can see how it works decently. You can mess with different things, but the idea, just practice. If you have an Allie, just practice with your Allie and see. Yeah, I sacrificed attack. I sacrificed pretty much all these frost archers. I'm going to say you're just all going to die, and that's kind of what you got to do. But it works. Back in the day when Allie was ruling and just destroying everybody, and then people would put voodoo dolls in the front, and the voodoos would just take out the stone golems and everything right away. The only way I could beat Allie was to make another Allie. So now Allie's tough again. You can make an Allie like this to take them out. So guys, you can do single stone golem Allies also up front. Give that one a shot, see how this one works for us. I like this, the orc hunter in there, because it kind of pushed back a little bit. Get you guys a little bit more of room, distance in there. Okay, once again, his Allie missed my Peltas, and I hit pretty much his entire army. There's my Allie protected by the cannons, and his is rolling in there by the meteor golems. So clearly, positionally, I had the advantage there, and his Allie hit only half my army, and my Allie hit pretty much his entire army. So there's another win there. So that's with just a single stone golem in there. So you guys can see You want to mess with different things. I have a lot of, if I put more like peltas in here, you just have to remember that ally nukes like the highest concentration of troops. So if you're going up against another ally, you know what, let me try something here. I'm going to try to put in a couple more peltas, but I'd be surprised if she didn't nuke my entire army now because of that. We'll see. So similar, she missed my peltas again. That's what you want with an ally, is you going up against another ally. Pretty much all his peltas died and all of mine survived. So you can mess with that. That one actually seemed to do a little better. We pretty much got this one unless I just get really unlucky. Don't think that's going to happen. Goodbye, ally. So I hope this helps, guys. There's a couple forums there. With ally, just mess with it. You know, sometimes people do split stone golems. They'll put in like 2. Some people put 2 with the Rhino Knight in the middle, some with the Orc Hunter in the middle. If you're facing someone that's just overwhelming you with Orc Hunters, you can put a Galbakazi in there. Just different things. So one thing like I like to do with the Frost Archers, if they're you want that separation. So it tends to be like when I start, like if these guys march forward with the peltas, ally seems to nuke like she'll just nuke everybody. Like I nuke the other one right now, but with the nuns in there, they help hold the Frost Archers back a little bit, and you see that it creates a separation from the back half of my army to the front half, and that kind of makes her choose, all right, who am I going to nuke? And she'll go, the Frost Archers with the nuns is a really dense target, and she'll attack that. So that way my front half of my army escapes that damage, and her whole army dies. Okay, I haven't had very much success doing like a split stone golem ally, but you know what, let's just do it just for fun. I'm going to throw in double split stone golems on here and see what happens. Now, you generally don't want split stone golems, in my opinion, with ally, because it splits up her troops, if that makes sense. See how his peltas curved out to the side? I'm pretty much going to die here. You don't want that. That's why you hardly ever see an ally with anyone that knows what they're doing with them on the outside. You see how if you put troops on the outside, the peltas curve around here from here, and they just attack your guys. When you have your stone golems in the middle, that draws everybody. All these guys are coming in towards this. They're all focused on that stone golem until he dies. So all these guys are going, oh, I'm going to kill that guy. And so with ally, that's what you want. You want them a smaller area for all these guys to just funnel in towards that. And then when ally does her bomb, it's going to hit more guys. That's what you want. You want to protect your ally. The goblin techs do a really good job of that up towards the front here. And then direct your enemy's bomb away from your damage dealers. And that's pretty much it, guys. You can see with that other one, if you have a ton of rear attackers and slim down your other attacks, you can actually have ally attack those guys, and then all your other guys are alive to do damage. So I hope this is helpful. Yeah, it was kind of fun making these videos, but just the main thing is just experiment with it. If you have guys in your clan that have a similar troops or whatever, throw your guys against those. If you're in battle and you come across someone that's got a strong ally form, throw in your ally against it, see how you fare, and just experiment. People are always changing their forms, and that's how you get better. So if you don't have all these troops, you can substitute range for range. If you don't have Frost Archers, archers work pretty good, guys. Taurus Witchers do really good. If you don't have pirate ships in the back, you can throw in stone golems. You can throw in pumpkin guards. You can throw in undead soldiers tend to run forward. So if you have undead soldiers or other 9-load troops, you could put a nun in front of them to help them from running forward, and that actually gets them into a little tighter spot, and it's tempting target for Ali. So if you don't have meteor golems, guys, Yasha's work, Sacred Swordsman's work, in a pinch, the totems work. Basically, you want a crowd control type guy. I like the meteor golems because they have a lot of hit points and they stun and they hit multiple targets, so they're really good crowd control. I like pirate ships up front, at least 1 or 2. They'll stun your opponent. That keeps him from running forward too much, and then that allows Ali to pretty much hit their entire army. So that is my Ali versus Ali strategy, my friends, and that is kind of a little rundown on some Ali forms. I hope this is helpful, guys. Mess with stuff. You'll find out what works for you, and you can hopefully take this forward and make a strong Ali formation. So as you can see, I mean, that guy's got a ton of voodoo dolls. I didn't need any voodoo dolls to beat him. I didn't need any Goblikazis or anything else. It's just, it comes down to Ali's strength, and that's what you're working with. So just hope this is helpful, guys. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see y'all next time.